Okay, let's look at a company's cost structure and operating leverage. Now, operating leverage refers to the extent to which a company's net income reacts to a given change in sales. Companies that have higher fixed costs relative to variable costs have what we call higher operating leverage, which means when a company's sales revenues are increasing, higher operating leverage is a good thing because it means profits will increase rapidly. But when sales are declining, too much operating leverage can have devastating consequences. So how can we compare operating leverage between two companies? Well, let's look here. I've got two companies, Vargo Video and New Wave Company, and you can look at even though both are making the same net income of $120,000 on the same amount of sales of $800,000, their variable and fixed costs vary tremendously. So Vargo Video has high variable costs and low fixed costs. New Wave has low variable costs and high fixed costs. So more than likely, New Wave has a lot of technology, a lot of equipment in their facilities that they've purchased up front, which is a flat cost of those fixed costs. Vargo, on the other hand, probably has a lot of labor and a lot fewer actual physical resources, so their fixed costs are much less. So I mentioned this a second ago about operating leverage, the extent that net income reacts to a given change of sales. So let's see how we can actually compare those two companies. So the actual degree of operating leverage is computed by dividing contribution margin by net income. So we can see here Vargo Video's degree of operating leverage is 2.67. New Wave's is 5.33. So let's say both companies experience a 10% decrease in sales. So net income would increase by 26.7% for Vargo Video. That's the 10% decrease times their degree of operating leverage, while New Waves would decrease 53.3%. Again, their degree of operating leverage times 10%. So you can see their higher operating leverage exposes them to greater earnings volatility. However, the converse is true as well. If they had a 10% increase in sales, Vargo's sales or income would only go up 26.7%, and New Waves would go up 53.3%. So don't look too much into this analysis on cost structure that relies on higher fixed costs and higher operating leverage, thinking it's necessarily bad. When used carefully, operating leverage can contribute to a company's profitability, which you can see here. Let me give you a quick example. Computer equipment manufacturer Comag enjoyed a 66% increase in net income once when its sales only increased by 8% because of this degree of operating leverage. The problem is when your sales go down, you get really hit hard as well when you have a high operating leverage, where Vargo could start laying off employees and things like that to help, because variable costs obviously vary.